Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and this is how to use Simipour. Now, Simipour is the last of the elemental monkeys in Pokedex order, and just by looking at it, it's the same stats as the other one, but these stats are actually in a pretty usable area. Now, this Pokemon isn't going to go and destroy everything, but it does have some consistency cases where it's going to be pretty nice, and you can also just kind of do whatever with it. 98 attack, 98 special attack, choose one, try to get some damage out of it, and you might find some success. Also, 101 speed, not bad, not insane, but I mean, you're outspeeding 100 base speed Pokemon, which is a lot of Pokemon when you start to break it down, so as long as you're outspeeding those, as long as you're not getting outsped yourself, the defenses don't really matter, but at the same time, they are low defenses, so you have to be very cautious of any kind of powerful hit or any just super effective hit. However, being a pure water typing, your super effective hits aren't really that bad. That Simisage as a grass type Pokemon, even Simisear as a fire type Pokemon, these Pokemon have way more weaknesses than Simipour, and a lot of them are a lot more common. So Simipour, electric, grass, that's it. You also have some decent resist, so if you come in on the right kind of move and you go for your setup from there, you might be able to make it work out. Hopping into Pokemon Showdown, we're going to see Simipour's options are pretty solid. So Hydro Pump, Ice Beam. Being a water type Pokemon is so good right here for the special attacking set. I mean, you have water and ice. You also get grass knot, so water, ice, and grass coverage is going to be really good. You don't have to worry about rolling for hidden power or anything. You just get up and go with a pretty solid moveset, and then you have Nasty Plot. Nasty Plot is very powerful. It's going to raise your special attack by 2 stages, so it's the Swords Dance for special attack, and that means if we just go, Timid Nature, max out speed, max out that special attack, get the doubling in there, everything could line up just right for Simipour. So with its ability Torrent, when it drops below a third of hit points, water attacks do 50% more damage. So I mean, we're going Nasty Plot, we're doubling it right there, and if we somehow find a way of getting another Nasty Plot that's tripling, 50% on top of that, with stab, with just high special attack investment. Now, even though it's only 98 base special attack, when we're getting this much boost into it, could make a difference. And then we have Hydro Pump. 110 base power, but 80% accuracy. So you are playing a bit of an accuracy game. If you don't want to worry about that, you can run Surf. Only 20 less base power, but after all the boosting and stuff, the damage starts to add up. So Hydro Pump will find the KOs that Surf will not. Now Scald, I don't really consider it too much of an option. Now it does have perfect accuracy, but it is less damage than even Surf with only 80 base power. So again, all that's going to stack up, and you're losing out on a ton of damage. And even then, like Burn works for tankier Pokemon. Simipour as a more of a sweeper Pokemon, it's not really going to get much out of the burn, and you just really want to get all that Hydro Pump damage down. So the idea is use Focus Sash. Nasty Plot, you take damage, Focus Sash procs, Torrent keeps you up, and then you just use Hydro Pump. With the high base power from Hydro Pump, you can get away with that. Then you still have boosted Ice Beam and Grass Knot. So as long as you're outspeeding the opponent, you're going to do really, really well just from all of this setup. Also, my Simisear video didn't really mention it that, you just go Blaze with Fire Blast and then Focus Sash, and what this does is it removes the need for a Life Orb. Life Orb makes it a bit more gambly, that you have to go up against Pokemon that isn't going to one-shot you. Now with those defenses and hit points being low, that is going to be kind of difficult. But if you find that, then Life Orb damage with all that, going to be insane. But when we break down Fire Blast, it's actually better than Hydro Pump. Same amount of base power, 5% more accuracy, and a 10% chance to burn. So everything stacks up really well for that Hydro Pump doesn't have, so you can use Simisear in the same way if you want to. But again, its coverage isn't as insane. You're going to need hidden power. You do get access to the Grass Knot, which is kind of interesting, but then you also have to worry about like accuracy of Focus Blast or something. So Simipour going to be really solid on that special coverage. As for physical, Simipour cleans up just as well as the other elemental monkeys. I mean, you do have some pretty solid move tutor moves. Low kick, gunk shot, knockoff, then you combine that with the stab move, and that's going to be pretty nice. So the idea here is Jolly Nature, maxing out the speed, going attack, Life Orb, knockoff for huge amounts of damage, you take a hit, you survive in Torrent range, then you try to get as much damage with Waterfall from there. If you're outspeeding, you might find the flinch, you just might find a lot of damage. Low kick is going to be some nice coverage, and gunk shot as well. As for other moves, you do have superpower, so if you don't want to run low kick and you want more damage, you can do superpower. You also get Ice Punch if you're running Focus Sash or something like that. Acrobatics can work, and then Ice Punch, just extra coverage on top of knockoff and waterfall. It's going to be pretty solid. And then we do have your Gluttony Setup. And depending on what you want to do, the toolkit is there, that if you want to run a special attacking Simipour, then you just go for the Patea Berry. If you want to go for a physical attacking Simipour, then you're going to want the Lychee Berry. So this is going to be a Patea Berry set. Now Patea Berry does give you some options. You can run Nasty Plot with this. That way you're going for +3 special attack, which could get insane, or you just kind of keep as much coverage as possible. You go for the Grass Knot, maybe even find like a Hidden Power Fire. That could be your other Hidden Power move if you want to squeeze it in. So Hidden Power Fire with all this is going to be very powerful. And then the Gluttony. The idea here is you either set up your nasty plot or you go for a knockoff. You take damage, you get dropped into below half, then Potato Berry activates, and now you're getting boosted damage on all these awesome moves right here. Also, another good move to put here is Superpower. Superpower, since it lowers your attack and defense by 1, you might as well just kind of play that superpower damage. You use that, you get the huge hit out of the way, and then now you follow it up with an Ice Beam or Hydro Pump. And with Knockoff, that does have its benefits as well. Knockoff means you might remove their Life Orb, you might remove their Choice Band. If you remove an offensive item from them, well then that means they have less damage to retaliate back onto you if you're faster, because we are going to want a speed boosting nature with something like that. And if you do that successfully, then you have a better chance of surviving, getting into the Potato Berry, and that could be pretty solid as well. Now if we do run Gluttony with the Lychee Berry, that is going to be like Knockoff and stuff, maybe Superpower as a last resort, but you do have access to the Low Kick, which can be pretty nice. And in this case, I do recommend Acrobatics. Acrobatics is going to help, and then we have like Waterfall, so we can run something like that instead of Low Kick. We can still carry the Ice Punch. So we do have a lot of really interesting diversity right here, but this can get pretty solid because you get dropped below half, Lychee Berry activates. Well, now your Acrobatics power doubles if you have no held item. Cool, now you have a 110 base power move, and you're getting all that boosting. In that case, we're going to want an Adamant Nature. Now with the Potato Berry, things get interesting. Timid does lower your attack, so say it's a Potato Berry set and stuff like that. Timid will lower your attack, so Knockoff does less damage. If you're not worried about knockoff damage, that's fine, but at the same time, if you go with like a hasty or a naive nature, that means we're lowering our defenses, so that might put us in one-shot range for certain Pokemon. So those are the risks. If you do it, I do recommend the naive nature. You're going to see some special attacks like Energy Ball or Giga Drain for super effective hits, and Thunderbolt and Thunder are more common than like Wild Charge and Thunder Punch. So if you want to play to that, if you're seeing a super effective hit, it's going to be special anyways. You might try to tank up any kind of other hit like that and then get below half, and then you're good to go. So that's going to be Simipour. It's like all the elemental monkeys. It has really good coverage. You can play it special, you can play it physical, you can play it with Torrent, you can play it with Gluttony. It's pretty much whatever you want it to be and whatever you feel is the best. There's really no set recommendation here. It's, do you want to go for Nasty Plot 101 base speed sweep, or do you want to find some other things around it? With the berries you can run Salac Berry and then go for the other nature. So Salac Berry is going to make you faster, going to take away a bit of damage overall, but then you can find other ways to play around it. Use Salac Berry with maybe Power Punch. Now use Power Punch, you get hit below half, Salac Berry activates, you outspeed, you get damage, and then you still have good coverage, Acrobatics, Waterfall, Knockoff, stuff like that. So if you guys enjoyed the video, that's how you use Simipour. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you for watching.